cost us? Let's talk about what Fed President Goolsby is saying. How about Goldman Sachs? Folks, let's get into it. Today is Monday, September 25th, and this is your daily financial news. Folks, first, let's remind you of something that I shared yesterday. Remember, for the next 4 months until the end of January, I want people following one rental at a time only to do great deals. In most real estate cycles, we are happy to do good or great deals. I suspect, I encourage, I ask all of you for the next 4 months to only consider doing great deals. Ask for closing cost credits, rate buydowns, write cheaper offers. To be clear, I am not giving you permission to stop doing the work. I believe as we go forward and rates stay higher for longer, we are going to increasingly find motivated sellers who need to sell. And trust me when I say, the best deals we have done over the last 20 some years are when we find a motivated seller, we listen to what they need, and we close on a deal that makes sense to us. That could be lower price, that could be terms, it could be a whole wide range of things. But given where we are at, I only want to see great deals going forward, at least until January. We've got to see where this thing goes. So if you don't know what I mean by that, I'll give it to you very quickly. One, your job is to do the work, create a buy box. You're supposed to look at that buy box for 90 days. You're supposed to document changes. You're supposed to figure out what an average yield or cash on cash is in your buy box. That's your job. Then in a normal market, what we do is we add 1.5% for good deals, or we add 3% for great deals. You see, at one rental at a time, we don't do average deals. Anybody can do average deals. We are only looking for great deals. So hopefully you are hearing me. Adjust your offers. Ask for closing cost credits, rate buydowns, whatever it is. Whatever you can do to create a great deal. Remember, 3% higher than whatever average is for your buy box. Okay? Great deals only. Number two, we've got the 10-year going up again today. We clearly have Wall Street finally understanding higher for longer. Folks, seemingly for a year, possibly 18 months, every time I talked about the Fed staying higher for longer, I would get comments below that basically said, you're an idiot. The market's always right. The market's pricing in cuts here, cuts there, cuts there. Well, folks, the market is giving up. Higher for longer is here. Goldman Sachs, I'll actually jump ahead. Goldman Sachs actually pushed their first rate cut out to Q4 of 2024. What have I been calling for? I've actually been saying 0 rate cuts in 2024. And I've been saying that for quite a while. So now we have Goldman Sachs going from a Q2 rate cut to a Q4 rate cut. Folks, Q1 is not that far ahead. And again, the market has been wrong a lot. So now we have the 10-year up to over 4.5. I think I saw 4.51 before I started, which is a high back to near 2007. It's been a long time since the 10-year note was up this high. So again, this is going to roll over to mortgages. We're in the 8s. We see what's going on. Again, back to point 1 of today, we are only doing great deals. Folks, I want you to be excited. I mean this. I don't care what the cost of capital is. If I'm a buyer or an investor, it is my job to use the existing cost of capital to get a great deal. Sellers could be in trouble. So again, only great deals. Do the work, write the offers, follow up, reminders, all of those great things. So what might the government shutdown cost us? So again, it's been about a month or so. I believe we are headed very quickly to a government shutdown. It starts at 12:01 a.m. October 1st. I still believe that this will be the longest shutdown on record. I believe the longest one to date is 55 days. I think there's a chance this one goes longer. Frankly, the only way this government shutdown gets resolved, or we get what's called a CR, or a continuing resolution, in my opinion, is if Congress does something it doesn't want to do. What do I mean by that? What we are seeing right now, in my opinion, is the left and the right want to get this thing done by themselves. The left and the right have, I don't know what you want to call it, extremes, outliers, whatever you want to call them, that don't agree with their own side. So nothing will get done. The only way this gets done is if Republicans and Democrats negotiate. They could do it. There's enough people in the middle, if they check their ego and they remember they're there to serve the American public, maybe something could get done. We have a split government. So thinking one side or the other can force something through, probably not going to happen. So buckle up. I don't know how this gets resolved, but it will certainly be entertaining. What will the cost be? Finally, Morgan Stanley. First article I have read that estimates the impact of a government shutdown. Morgan Stanley economist, chief U.S. economist, Ellen Zentner. Zentner. She estimates that for every week the government is shut down, it will cost 0.2 of GDP. That's significant. That is significant. So again, I believe what stares us in front of us in Q4 is a bunch of headwinds: government shutdown, student debt repayments, UAW strike. It does look like the 146-day strike between the Writers Guild and networks seems to be moving forward. They're looking at a tentative agreement, but yes, it is. We got a lot of headwinds in front of us. So again, buckle up, do the work, continue to do the work, never stop doing the work, because you'll lose what's going on in the market. What is Fed President Goolsby saying? Man, cough is still here. 1, it is unusual for inflation to fall without unemployment rising. Folks, we have a structural challenge in the labor force. There's not enough people, not enough skills for lots of these different jobs. That's why labor is going to get theirs going forward. Certainly the bottom 50%. The trades are going to see theirs. This is just going to be part of the next 4 to 5 years. If you really want to see what I see over the next 4 or 5 years, you unfortunately got to go back and look at the 70s. And not the numbers, but just trying to look at the articles and just, stagflation and sideways. And it wasn't a very fun decade. I unfortunately think that is what's in front of us. Number 2, can't change the inflation target until we hit the target. There is a lot of talk about the Fed throwing away their 2%, going to some kind of average inflation targeting. There's a lot of talk, but basically what Goolsby is saying is we can't do that until we get to our target, which is code for we're going to change the target, but just not yet. That's kind of how I read that comment. And then finally, the risk of inflation staying high or too high is the bigger risk. This is what a lot of the Fed presidents are going to be dealing with. Where's the risk? Is it risk that inflation gets away from us, or do we go to deflation? This will get trickier. I don't know if you know this, but if we have a government shutdown October 1st, there's all kinds of economic data that the Fed won't get. What does that mean for future rate hikes? I don't know about you, But if you were trying to understand what's going on in the economy and all of your data sources were gone, you're kind of flying blind. And yes, I know Powell said we're trying to navigate the planet by a cloudy sky or something. It's even worse than that. If there's no data showing up, what are you going to do? We've already talked about Goldman Sachs. Again, Goldman Sachs, very important. Wall Street is pushing out the first rate cut. Goldman moved it to Q4. I actually still think it is 2025, but we'll see. Alrighty, folks, we have another huge announcement, right? We have an event going on February 17th, February 18th in Las Vegas. I did a video last week introducing the Blind Center, talking about the location. Folks, if you didn't watch that video, here's a little tidbit. You actually get to see Olivia. Lots of you have talked about, hey, why isn't Olivia in videos, why all of that. She was gracious enough to do a scene with me in that 10-minute video, showing you the space, showing you all the cool stuff. She's in there. She actually does some bowling with me at the video if you haven't seen it yet. But we have an event. We've sold 130 of the 265 tickets. Only general admission is left. The next big announcement, Sean Cannell from Think Media. Folks, I've already told you that Jason Pritchard and Jen Pritchard are going to open up the session. These are amazing investors, but even better, Jason and Jen are a true partnership. Think about this. Jason's story was so important. I put it in my second book, 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires. Jason had a good job. He burned the bridge, quit, laddered up his credit cards, equity line, and just went for it. That, to me, as I've told both of them, would be way too risky. You can talk to Jason and Jennifer, how they do it, how they have faith, how they talk about money. What did they do when they went 6 months with no income? You can also talk about what they're doing now, how they're running a balanced life, how they're taking trips, how they're growing together, how Jen finally quit her teaching or counseling job. After Jason and Jen, you are going to get the one and only CEO of Think Media. You're going to get to ask him questions. I believe one of the things we should be doing is talking about how to turn your hobby or passion into a side hustle. There has never, ever been an easier time to take something you love and share it with the world and get paid. Folks, coming for a session with Sean Cannell is worth the price of admission. Again, it's only $199 because all we have is general admission left. You're going to get 11, 12 amazing speakers. This event is aimed at full-time employees. We're going to talk about how to get wealthy. We're going to talk about discussing money and finances and relationships, side hustles. We're going to talk about stocks. Dan Bird is going to come and talk about that as well. You're not going to want to miss this. It's less than $10 an hour, plus you get a party, plus you get a concert, plus you get to network. And the best part of the event, you get to drive the discussion. 80% of our 2 days together will be audience driven. There will be microphones on the left and the right where you get to ask the speaker questions. How many of you want to ask Sean Cannell questions? How many of you are thinking about YouTube or struggling or whatever? How many of you want to know all the other ways you can make money after having a YouTube channel? I don't know. Nobody better than Sean Cannell to come talk to. Get your tickets. Link will be below once I put it there. Plenty of links out there. You can find it on Eventbrite. This should be sold out already. We're halfway sold out, so let's hope it sells out soon. Next, I don't know if you guys remember, but what we have done, my team has done, is one rental at a time, 6, 7 videos a day. That's a lot of content. What I have done is I've created 2 side channels. One called the Daily Financial News. So what my team will do later today is they will take this live feed. They will add additional sizzle content based on what we've talked about. And that will be posted tonight about 6 p.m. 2,000 or so of you have already subscribed, which I thank you for. If you want to get more kind of the big picture and not just a live video, you can go ahead and subscribe to the daily financial news. Second, one of the things I've been looking forward to do is creating a channel that is what I call the best of ORAT, one rental at a time. The best of ORAT channel, what it does is it goes back a week and it finds the videos that you guys like the most, and it does the same thing. It takes those videos, it adds some more color and content and posts it there. The idea for best of ORAT and the daily financial news is one video a day. One video a day. So if you could do me a favor, subscribe to the daily financial news. Best of ORAT, I think, has 60 subscribers. I need to talk about it more, so we need more subscribers at Best of ORAT. But folks, I'm doing the best I can to reach more and more folks. Some people don't like one rental at a time because I produce too much content. I'm sorry. I'm having fun. It's fun for me. It's not stopping. But hey, check out Daily Financial News or Best of ORAT. And then finally, folks, we got a golden ticket going out. What's a golden ticket? This is somebody who did the work and closed on a great deal. Dan, congratulations on your golden ticket. It's already stamped. It's going to go in the mail in a couple of hours. Congratulations. You can get this or one of these black cards. You can get unlimited number of these. You can only ever get one of these. Alrighty, folks, have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe, comment, share this with a friend. I appreciate you. Bye.